Actually, now I'm changing my mind. I feel like long form is coming back.
I couldn't really have the control that I needed. I didn't really have like the visibility that I needed.
Do you think you have a healthy relationship with social media?
No. You? What is your highest paid deal?
I love this because people don't like to talk about money.
Yeah.
Okay, my highest paid deal.
Wow.
What is your name and what type of content do you create?
So my name's Wendy and I create beauty content. So quite editorial, creative, fun, colourful. That's kind of my vibe.
Love that.
And what about you?
My name's Chrystal King, and I make DIY interior home content with a bit of tech and lifestyle.
How long have you been doing that for then?
That's a very good question. I've been doing it for about 2.5 years. What about you?
Not long, but that's like, you've been doing a lot though. That's really nice.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for about 5-6 years.
Wow.
Maybe longer. So 2017. Can't do the maths, but that's quite a while.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
so it's
so
been a
cool.
minute.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Thank you. So what led you to start creating and what has been your experience so far?
So I work in tech. I still have a 9 to 5.
Oh.
And I bought my first house about 2.5 years ago.
Congratulations. That's a big deal.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And you know when everyone buys a house and they're just like, oh, I'm going to start a home account.
Yeah.
I was just one of those people.
And it turned out to be this now your job basically.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't really know if it was going to get as big or as like if I'd take it as far as I have right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of started it and I was like, oh, at best I'll get a bit of free furniture. Get like a free sofa, which I didn't get, by the way. I had to pay for my sofa. But yeah, that's kind of what made me start.
So how do you balance the 9 to 5 with the content creation?
Girl, I don't.
Because I can't even begin to imagine like how exhausting that would be.
Yeah, it's been an interesting journey because I've been at different like companies as well whilst I've been content creating. So I think my first company was quite good because it was like more or less fully remote. The team was based in the US and stuff. I had later start times, later finish times, and yeah, I could pretty much balance it. But then I started working another job where I had to be in the office 2-3 times a week.
Oof.
Yeah.
That is not given hybrid at all. That's not enough.
I know. So it really took a toll. I think my content took a toll as well, just because you have to like get up earlier, you come back a bit later because you're commuting and stuff.
Yeah.
But now I'm back to freedom. I'm back to like being fully remote. And,
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So you find that balance is better than remote is just much better.
Yeah, it's so much better, I think, just because you don't really spend too much time traveling and commuting and stuff. You're able to balance your time better. Tech is very fluid in that. As long as you get the work done, like everything is fine. So I just put in all the hours at different like times and stuff, and yeah, I balance it that way. But yeah, I think there's always a sacrifice as well. So my social life has sacrificed quite a lot. Yeah.
It's a lot. Where are you going to find the time to do that when you've got to do content, actual 9 to 5, all of that?
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Exactly. Are you full time?
Yes, I've been full time for maybe 3-4 years now. Honestly, being a freelancer, it's up and down. There's never like a consistency with it. So, sorry. So, yeah, I'm not going to say it's easy, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I feel like it's challenged me in so many different ways. And also it's made me think, I've thought many times to go back to a 9 to 5 as well.
Really?
Like, because I'm just like, oh, the consistency is not good. But I think through the years of doing it, you manage your finances. So if I know that the winter months are going to be quieter, then I'm going to make sure that I don't spend too much, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought I saw something. So, yeah, but it doesn't mean that even till this day, it's still not a challenge. But I just love it. I love having my own schedule. I love the fact that I don't have to wake up at 6 a.m. Like, I'm sorry, but that is just underrated. Not having to set an alarm most days is like, for me, like a privilege. So like, I don't take it for granted at all. So, and it's just fun. Like, I'm being creative. Like, that's all I've ever wanted to do. So I can't really complain even with the hardships of it all, if that makes sense.
No, I absolutely love that for you. That sounds like such a dream.
No,
you said no alarm.
Do you want to go freelance? Like,
I would love to. Yeah.
Is that the the
The
5-year
goal,
plan or?
yeah, that's the goal. I think it's tough though when you work a 9 to 5, um, especially I think tech, where you have like a lot of benefits. You have like freedom, but you don't have all type of freedom. But you have
Yeah.
freedom, right? So you're just like trying to work out, when do I make that jump? When am I like ready to make that jump?
I don't think anyone's ever ready, to be honest, because I've always been kind of not freelance but worked part-time in retail, like makeup
Yeah.
retail and whatever, and then the pandemic happened, and then
Mm,
I was like, what am I going to do? So I actually was in a 9 to 5 during the pandemic for a little bit. So that was my little experience of doing content with a 9 to 5. And I was thinking, when am I going to leave? When am I going to leave? And you just, I know it sounds cliche, but you just know.
yeah.
But it's never going to be comfortable. It's going to
Yeah.
feel like a risk regardless. But now that you're in the situation, you've got a 9 to 5 and you've got your house, as long as you plan for the next 6 months, okay, I've got X amount of money. When you're ready to take that leap, I would just take that leap, because
Yeah.
if not, you're always going to think, I need my safe haven, I need my backup. And I think there's a reward that comes to taking a risk. So when you're ready, just do it. I definitely recommend it for
Words
sure.
of wisdom. I can't actually click, but
Yeah.
no, you're so right. You're so right.
Should we do the next? I don't know what's the next one.
Oh, okay. What's your favorite brand collaboration, and in a few words, why?
Oh, I've actually been fortunate. I've worked for a lot of brands. I'd say my favorite brand was Pinterest, because they really they pushed me to do whatever I wanted, and they really elevated me as a creator. They put me first. Sometimes when you do a lot of jobs, it's kind of what the brand wants, and then they sit there and wonder why the ad didn't do well. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
you literally were so rigid with the brief, I couldn't put my spin on it. And I think with the kind of like beauty content that I do, I do need that creative freedom sometimes. And they just let me do what I want and found ways to support me. And I had some amazing experience with them. Like I think a couple of years ago, I went to Cannes Lions with them, and it was probably one of the most amazing experiences I've had. Like they treated me so well. They respected my fees, and I think that's very important as a creator, to feel like you're being invested in and protected. And yeah, I loved it, and hopefully I get to do something with them again at some point. My Pinterest, admittedly I haven't been updating my Pinterest account. It's so hard to be on so many platforms,
Yeah,
but
it is.
yeah, honestly, it was amazing. What about you?
Um, I think my favorite one was, I mean, it was a collaboration with PayPal.
Okay.
And it was an interesting one because I didn't actually have to post any content.
Oh.
I just like did a shoot with them, and I was like speaking to them and stuff. And I think reasons why it's my favorite, similar to you, like they treated me really, really well.
Yeah.
It was just so much fun. And I didn't have the pressure of like posting by like a specific time or a specific day or
Like
anything
worried
like
about the
that.
views or like stuff like
Yeah,
that. That's always so stressful.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when an ad doesn't do as well, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Even though it's never our
It's not our
fault.
fault, but we
Yeah,
still feel like, oh, will they work with us again or whatever. It's always that worry, which I hate.
exactly.
But if the work's good, like they will work with you
Yeah,
again. So
yeah, true, true,
so it
true.
was a shoot, you said?
Yeah, it was a shoot where I was speaking about like my money habits and stuff like that in relation to like buying my house
Ah.
and DIYs and interiors and stuff like that. So it was really cool. Um, but I just loved it because I had never experienced anything like it. Like they picked me up from my house. They
As
like
they should. As they should.
you're like Crystal, know
Yeah,
your worth.
yeah, exactly.
They picked me up from my house. They like took me there. They fed me really. The food was so good. Like I'm a really picky eater, and that's a big thing for me. So the food was really nice. Everyone was super sweet, and the campaign turned out really good too. So,
Have
yeah.
you done anything with them since, or do you want to do something?
I would love to do something with them again, but I've not done anything since.
Well, you never
So
know. You
you
never know
never
what's going to
know.
be
Yeah,
this year. You never
yeah,
know.
you never know. The year's still young.
Do you prefer complete creative freedom or a big budget?
Oh, as in one or the other. I think I prefer both.
Yes, me too. Who doesn't want a big budget? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose, I would still choose a big budget though. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
we're in a cost of living crisis, so you know, I would like a heftier budget. And also, there's other. I find that that you're always going to work in different campaigns. So there's lower budgets, there's ones with creative
Yeah,
freedom, but ultimately, you know, I want to be paid, my wage. Like, do you know what I mean? So
exactly.
that's like the most important thing.
Exactly. I think I agree with you. I think I agree with you. And I feel like sometimes, even with the big budgets, like the concept that the brand is bringing could still be really good and
Exactly.
work really well with the kind of stuff that you do regularly. So, yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes, I mean, I don't know about you, but sometimes you might be fighting for your life to get the right rate. Like not
Yeah.
arguing, but going back and forth negotiating. It can be so frustrating sometimes because they've got the budget, but they just don't. They want to see how low you can take, and I just don't get why that's such a thing in the industry to like try and lowball so much. And I've
Yeah.
noticed it from self-managing for years. Like some years, it's like easy to, you say your rate and you get it, or you do a bit back and forth and meet in the middle. Or sometimes they just don't want to budge, and it's just given that they're just picking the person that's the cheapest and not like
Mm,
the actual quality of their
the
content.
content.
And
Yeah, yeah.
for me, it's a bit insulting, really.
It
Like, I feel
is.
like that's one of the biggest challenge when you're self-managing or like work doing this full time is fighting for your worth or knowing when to, okay, I'll accept this for now. But do you know what I mean? It's not, it's not
Yeah.
easy.
No, I completely get you. I completely get you. How do you feel about saying no sometimes?
Last year I was really firm. I was just
Yeah.
like, I'm not accepting anything below this rate, and I'm just not going, and that's it. And I noticed that crazily enough, I'd say 60% of the jobs that come in, I didn't take them, and that is insane.
Wow.
But I personally felt like I had to do that because the moment you accept a low rate, people are going to think that it's okay to come back to you with that, and they can say, oh, when we have a bigger budget. Well, it's not true. There are so
Exactly.
many creators, they're just going to go to someone else. So for me, it was to stand my ground and say, when you're ready, come back. Do you know what I mean? When you're ready with
Mm-hmm.
something decent, come back. And I feel like now this year I've been more flexible, but I've still stood my ground, and I'm getting rates that are like a median at least.
Yeah.
And I stand by it because I just think also it helps other creators that come in we have like a minimum what people should take, because if you
Yes.
now start taking little pennies, brands are gonna think, okay, we can start charging people that. And I think the beauty industry or the influencer industry, people don't realize it's much more complicated and much more, there's a lot of work that's put into it. We're essentially photographers, marketing people, we're essentially
Mm-hmm.
everything. And if you think about it, you're not going to a photographer that's doing a big campaign that you're going to see on the streets is not going to charge £200 a day.
Exactly.
So why should we be? We're the new form of marketing. So I feel like people need to look at marketing through that lens and charge their worth. And if you don't know, ask. Don't be afraid to ask. Like, I advocate for that so much. I'm not afraid to say how much I charge, how much you should charge.
Mm,
Like, I'm not, because it's gonna help us all in the future. Do you know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel the same as you. I'm really transparent. Like if anyone DMs me, I'm always like, this is what I can offer, or this is how much I've been charged for this,
Yeah.
or this is how much I've taken for this. Because I think that transparency helps. It's the same as like
Yeah.
regular work, because sometimes you'll be in workplaces and you'll find out that someone who's doing the exact
Ooh,
same job as you is being paid £10,000 more, and it's just like
crazy.
why? Sometimes it's even more than that, especially with the whole like region to region. So some people in
Yeah.
like America, for example, who are doing the exact same work as you might be getting charged like £50,000 more. And yeah, I'm all for transparency, so I
I
hear
just
that.
can't believe that's even like happening. And they say, oh, you shouldn't be telling people your salary. It's to protect them, not
Yeah,
you.
it's so
So
exactly.
be telling people your salary, guys, honestly, because it makes a difference, and then you can fight your corner, because there's
Completely
nothing to
agree.
justify how you could be doing the same thing, but you're not getting paid the
Yeah.
same. Do you know what I mean? So
Exactly, exactly. You don't lose anything from finding out. And it's like, even if you find out that you're not being paid as much with a salary or with a job or anything like that, then you can make the decision as to like whether you want to do the job
yeah,
or whether it doesn't make sense for you. Um,
exactly.
yeah, because there'll always be someone out there who wants to pay you your worth.
Absolutely. And I feel like that's what people shouldn't be afraid of, like saying no. That's what I
Yeah,
want to stress as well. It's so scary. I feel like when I first started out, I wanted to reply really quickly, and I wanted to,
yeah,
do you know what I mean? But you, without knowledge, you're clueless. And the amount of times that afterwards I found out, oh, I should have been paid this much, it burnt. And it was like,
mm,
okay, patience. It's like, okay, and asking was vital. So I feel like from now I take my time, because if they want to work with you,
yeah,
they'll wait. a couple of days for you to just figure out what your rate could be,
Exactly.
it's not going to hurt them. So, yeah, I definitely will always push for that.
Yeah. Just to add to that, I think that sometimes as well, when you say yes and you accept a low price, especially when it's to an agency, that agency might have many briefs and they might work with many brands. And it's like, I, I personally feel like they'd be like, okay, well, she accepted a really low offer on this brand. So with this brief, I reckon we can get her to this as well. And I can't see why they'd be like, oh yeah, let's bump it up for this person, because they're running a business too at the end of the day. So yeah.
Well, that's why you've got to say what your worth, like what your worth is, and stand on it, because that's what they're going to keep trying to keep lowballing you. So
yeah,
we're running a business too, so we've got to have the same energy at the end of the day.
It needs to be mutually beneficial.
Exactly.
There is a good guide though. I don't know if you heard of it. It's by 7-6.
I follow that. I use it as a guide.
Oh,
yeah.
Good.
So literally so helpful. I'm waiting for the one this year to come out. I don't know if it's come out yet, but honestly, I feel like what I love about them is that they are there for the creator.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? We know it's a business. We know they want to do well with their clients, but they are there. They prioritize the creator. Yeah. And that, what is it called? It's called the
Influencer Pricing Report.
That's it. Honestly, it's so helpful. And I feel like if you are starting out, look at that guide, because you'll be shocked for what you should be charging. And it's just a guide as well. It doesn't mean other factors play into it as well. Exactly. So you could even be charging more. So yeah, I'll always go back to it when I need it. And anyone asks for advice, I go back to it. Like, yes, it's so useful.
I honestly wish I had it when I first started out, because I remember one of my first brand deals was with a really big company, and they asked me what my rates were, and obviously I didn't know what a rate was.
You wouldn't.
So I was like, yeah, this is it, and they were like, we can give you this, and it was actually more than what I had suggested.
So they even was like, no, wow, it's so low that like. Well, that's good on them, though.
It's good on them, but I feel like they probably still gave me the minimum of their budget.
Probably, but I'm trying to think, how low was it, girl?
It was so low.
Damn.
It was so low.
But the thing is, you won't know though, and that's the thing. Like, no one knows about rates. It's a new world, so I feel like that guide is doing wonders for creators that don't necessarily want to be signed yet or haven't found the right agency. So it's just really, really useful.
Plus 1,000.
Okay. Tight turnaround or delayed payment?
Tight turnaround.
Please. Yeah, like, don't even get me started on delayed payment, because I'm waiting on a few payments now.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I'm just like, let's not get started. That's probably top 2 the worst issues in this industry is delayed payment, because you know, the people that are paying me, they still get paid every 30 days. So what about me? You know, what am I supposed to do? My bills still come out every 30 days. I don't know if it's like because we might get paid more than the average person, 9-to-5 person, that they think, oh, they can take the piss. But it's so jarring how, I mean, I know in America, they've got like net 60 or like 60 days, I think is insane. Everyone should be paid every month. If not sooner, because you have the budget. I understand cash flow and all of that, but if you have the budget, pay the creators, because as soon as you've done it, they're quick to post it. But then when you're paying, it's not who's there, because do you know what I mean? So that even reminds me, I need to chase someone.
Oh wow,
it's a lot. Have you had like any issues with that before?
Only one, I think. It's only one, and it was actually. Oh wait, I won't mention the brand.
Please don't.
Oh my days. No, so I've only had it once. But the good thing was we were able to add a late fee.
And they paid it?
And they paid it, yeah.
Lucky
so we
you.
just added a couple more, and they paid it.
I'm jealous. They never pay late fee for me.
Really?
But yeah. But it's
even bigger brands.
Yeah, I'd say they've avoided it. I think maybe once someone's paid it, but I've been doing this for a long time. Once in how many years I've done it, it's not great. But they've delayed. But I wouldn't say I've had anything major. I'd say the longest I've had is a month, which is still long, but I've heard people that have been paid in like 6 months, which I think I'd be going to small claims court at that point. Like, I'm not even, because, you know, you've done the job. Exactly. So what else are you waiting for? But again, people get scared to chase about the money, but it's like, it's scary, but just do it, because you've worked for it. Just say it in the nicest way possible, but be firm. Sometimes adding the late fee in the invoice kind of makes them pay quicker. But you just got to keep. You've done the work. So
exactly. We all have bills.
That's the thing. Every month, don't remind me.
Yeah. Trust. Okay.
This is the quick fire round.
Ooh, this is fun. These questions are fun. Okay, I'm gonna start and ask you a
Yeah,
question.
okay.
What's the best editing app / software and why?
InShot.
Okay.
I use that, or CapCut. Cut. I used to actually use Adobe. What was Premiere Pro?
Premiere Pro.
That is so old school, and I was like, why am I still using this? It's so much quicker on your phone. So yeah, InShot is the best for me. What about you?
Love that. Adobe Premiere Pro.
Do you still use? No, my friend was like, why are you still using that? And I was just like, why not? But it's because I went to art school, so that's what I learned. But then it's so much easier because it's on your, if you use InShot, it's on your phone.
Yeah. I need to try InShot.
Honestly, I was procrastinating for ages, and like a year later, I finally used it. I was like, why have I been, it will change your life.
Wow.
InShot, editing your phone just makes complete sense. What's the point?
Yeah.
Uploading it onto your MacBook
and then put it back on your phone.
Just long, as long as you do it on your phone.
Okay, I'll try it. So I use Premiere Pro as well as CapCut, but CapCut for desktop.
Oh, you can use it for desktop as well? I did not know that. I did not know that.
Enjoying that. Yeah. But I don't know, you got me thinking now, because like, why am I actually airdropping it to myself?
I just deeped it. It takes so much longer, but it's because you're when you're in this same routine, you don't think about that. You're used to it. It's your way of doing things. But honestly, I've not opened Adobe Premiere Pro in a good year and a half, like, I'm not even joking. Wow. And I use that down like all the time. Wow. So I would definitely them quick edits. Yeah. Just use your phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try that. I'm downloading InShot after this.
Smartphone or DSLR?
Oh, smartphone. I recently bought a DSLR.
Did you?
And yeah, it's just like sitting there. Like,
what did you get?
I got a Sony ZV-E 10.
Ooh.
Yeah. I was thinking, okay, I'm going to get on YouTube. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that.
Bit of vlogging.
But no, it's literally like, so it's a bit shaky and stuff. I haven't really like figured out how I'm going to use it. Whereas your phone is literally just
right there. It's just as good sometimes.
Exactly.
For certain things.
Yeah.
So I've got a Canon, can't remember which one it is. I used to use the DSLR a lot, but then when Instagram turned into more of like reels, I was like, well, what's the point? What's the point of like taking really nice pictures on your DSLR? So yes, it's smartphone for now, like smartphone for now. Yeah.
Makes sense. Until I'm gonna get that pocket thing, the Osmo DJI.
Do you know what? I've got that, but you know what? I don't use it.
Really?
Yeah, I got that ages ago and I don't use it, which is really bad. I feel like there's so many things, especially as a creator, like you buy so many things and then you just jump on the next thing. And I feel like I feel like I've got to go back to that actually, because it's literally, I've used it once or twice.
Wow.
And it's not cheap as well.
Yeah, it's not. It's like £700.
I think I was using it for tutorials, but again, as tutorials changed, there was no point doing it for using it. But I'm just like, you know what? Let me whip it out and actually start using it again. Yeah. You just reminded me.
Okay, let me know how you, like, for the next month, let me know how you find it.
Do you want to do the next question?
Yeah, long form or short form?
Short form, because right now, now I'm changing my mind. I feel like long form is coming back.
Yeah, I think so too.
I feel like people are, like consumers, actually want to get to know the creator a bit more. Kind of like the YouTube days, but on TikTok. I feel like, or on Reels. So I feel like I prefer short form because it's quicker for me. But I miss the days when I actually did a full-on tutorial. Like actually taking my time doing the look, because for a while I just felt like no one cared about the creative process of what I was doing. They just wanted to see, they didn't even want to see me applying blush or applying the lips. They just wanted me to just tap and then, you know, the lips. Before and after. So I welcome long form. Yeah. What about you?
That's a good point. I think you're right in that long form is coming back, because I literally just saw a notification on TikTok that said they now accept 60-minute long videos.
Oh, do they?
Yes. I was like, an hour long.
An hour long is crazy.
But you know that, who was that not influencer, but she made lots of videos about her husband.
Oh, who the fuck did I marry?
Yeah, Tessa, something. Yeah. So like, I didn't watch it, but people were saying there were so many parts.
Oh, I watched every single...
How many parts?
I think there was 45.
How many?
I spent the whole weekend watching that.
How long was it?
I feel like she was doing 10-minute videos.
Oh.
So 10 minutes time, my maths, but yeah.
Okay.
I can't do the maths right now. I'm embarrassed. Please cut this out.
Oh. Yeah, no, I can't.
But it was very long, but
Yeah.
she was so engaged in it, and it was such a crazy
Really?
story that you had the whole world was gripped.
Wow.
Like and the thing is, I don't have time for that. I don't have time to watch a 10-minute video. I was hooked. I was watching it on times 2,
Yeah.
and I was I was like doing the
So
dishes, washing my laundry.
Yeah.
It was
same.
great. I loved it. But yeah, honestly I welcome that because I feel like I miss those days of watching, like, I don't know, my favorite beauty creators like
Yeah.
talking about a product and actually like doing a wear test and stuff like that. Like I miss
Exactly.
that. So I think I'm quite interested to see how it works on TikTok though.
I think so too. I'm definitely more of a fan of medium form.
Media was as in like in the middle.
Yeah. I made it up. But it's because my videos are like 2 to 3 minutes long sometimes. So it's just like, yeah, I feel like that's not really that short.
It's so hard to know what people want. I just find that if you do short form or long form, it just has to be engaging, and that's the thing
Yeah,
I've noticed. Like
exactly.
I know when a video is not going to do well, it was going to do well. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you kind of know what people want. So, but sometimes you just also got to put content out there. Like, not everything's about views as well. Sometimes just getting the content out there to show that you've used the product, you've tried it,
Exactly.
and also inform like your consumers that, I've tried this, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's why I try and do a mix. I haven't experimented with long form enough, but I definitely want to do that. But long form is just a lot, and I'm just not good at, like, I don't know how people just talk as they're doing the makeup. Like, how are you talking and doing
Whilst
it,
doing,
and then
yeah.
also like being engaging at the same time? Like, I find that such a challenge. So, but I've slowly started speaking my content, and I think I'm gonna keep trying to
Yeah.
do it. But it's not.
Experiment.
It's like 1 minute there's one trend, and the next minute it's another trend. It's like I can't keep
Yeah.
up. Like like the way trends go, like the turnaround of trends is so quick now. It's much harder than it was like years ago. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I can just imagine, to be honest. Even like the short amount of time I've been doing it, I've seen like trends go in and out, and yeah.
It's a lot of people just copying each other, and I'm just like, guys, we don't have to copy each other. Like,
Yeah.
we don't have to. Also, that like people saying, "Oh, this viral product," it's like it's not viral. It just came out. Like, it's not. Do you know what I mean? But that's the thing with social, and I think it's really important for people to. That's why, like, be really authentic, because for me, that's important in the long run. At the end of the day, like, you can. Who's gonna, if like social media shut down now, who are we going to remember? We're going to remember the ones that were actually unique in what they did and
Yeah.
stood out, not the ones that were like following every single trend or like
Exactly.
recreating someone's look. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You're gonna remember the person's look that they are recreating.
Exactly.
Like the
If that's
trendsetter.
even the right credit, like person you're crediting, honestly, because there's so many,
Yeah,
so
that's
many
so
of the same
true.
thing.
Yeah, yeah. I love that though. Be authentic to yourself.
Always, always. What's your best kept editing secret or
Ooh.
hack?
Oh, you know what? Something that's really underrated. I do a lot of voiceovers and I have a mic, like a proper mic to do my voiceovers. But when I tell you, it is so easy and you get just like pretty much the same quality from recording on your phone
Really?
via voice memos. Yeah. So I just record on my phone for all my voiceovers now. I don't use my mic anymore and I haven't for about a year.
I've never used a mic.
Really?
No, I
Do
never.
you just
I just bought one recently though, but
Oh.
just because I thought it'd be cute to do it in some videos, like with the mic,
Oh, like that mic.
Yeah, switch
No,
it
I
up.
like
Like,
that mic. Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
cute, but
But for
I've
voiceovers,
always used voice memos. To be fair,
yeah,
yeah,
makes
it's
sense.
honestly iPhone. You'd be surprised like how many things are in an iPhone that we can use, and it's useful. Like, we pay a lot for it.
Completely
Actually,
agree.
look into it and like
Yeah, yeah,
see what you can use from it.
exactly, exactly. What about you?
Um, well, best editing secret hack. I would say use your phone to edit. Maybe I'm behind because I wasn't using my phone, but there's no need to use like those
The
editing
big
softwares if
program.
you're posting on Reels or TikToks or anything on social media really. Like, you can use your phone, you don't need to use anything else. And also in like a lot of those app like InShot, you can also add text and stuff like that. So because I was like doing it on InShot and then going to CapCut, and I was like, why am I doing that? InShot
Yeah,
has text, so you'd be surprised like how many hacks you can find in one app.
right,
And it's
right.
worth also paying extra for like InShot stuff like that because
Yeah,
you're gonna use it all the time.
yeah.
But yeah, that would be my little if
So
that's even a hack. That's
no,
just
it's. I
advice.
think it's a hack. Yeah, yeah. I think it's good because it's like these little apps are like more powerful than we think they are. You know.
But we don't get a chance because there's so much going on. There's always a new feature. There's always this, that. So you don't
Yeah,
actually get a chance
yeah.
to realize like how many good things are in the app. So
Exactly.
yeah, is it you or me?
I think it's. I keep forgetting.
I keep forgetting too.
You do
Go
the
on.
next one.
Okay, cool.
Ooh.
If you could get rid of one platform, which one would you be willing to lose?
No, that's so hard.
Oh, that's harsh.
I wish I asked you. That's so hard. It's interesting because I guess it's so interesting. I feel like Instagram is more of a space where you have a community and your followers kind of know you. And I feel like even though I have like a much bigger audience, it's like 5 times the size of my Instagram. But it's like on TikTok, I don't feel like they know me as much.
No.
And they don't really, I don't think they follow me from video to video. And I think it's based on how TikTok do their algorithm.
Yeah.
I think they just surface your video to whoever will find it most interesting. Whereas I think Instagram, your videos they should go to your followers first.
Should, but that's another
small caveat.
Issue, yeah.
So yeah, it's like, do I wanna like pick community, or do I wanna pick like engagement
views?
Yeah, exactly. Growth.
That's a good.
Because TikTok grows a lot faster as well, in my opinion.
It does, but I kind of agree with what you're saying. I feel like there's a lack of community on TikTok.
Yeah.
So I prefer posting on Instagram. I prefer being a consumer on TikTok.
Yeah.
Actually, I love going on TikTok. I even forget to post because I'm just like, I'm loving like going on it, scrolling. But I definitely think Instagram is more engaging. So would you choose to drop TikTok?
Oh gosh, yes, I would choose to drop TikTok. I think as well, having a larger amount of followers or having a larger audience on Instagram is slightly more valuable than having it on TikTok.
It is.
Just because of the maturity of the platform. So it's seen by like different brands as like, I don't know, less something. I don't know what the word is, but it's not valued as much. It's
not valued as much because you can't predict what the views are going to be. So I personally think people, from what I know, people charge less. Like, to be fair, my TikTok follow is not massive anyway, so I try and avoid doing ads there only because it's like I'm gonna have to charge way less. But yeah, if you had 50k followers on Instagram, you had 50k followers on TikTok, you'd be charging way more for your Instagram post. Than TikTok, which is really interesting, but it makes sense. So I'm kind of glad I have more followers on my Instagram. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. But I would actually, the thing is, I'd get rid of TikTok or Twitter. I'm not gonna lie.
Are you on Twitter?
Yeah, I'm not. If I'm being honest, I'm on Twitter, but like just to look.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not as on it as a creator because it's scary on Twitter. Like, you can say one thing and then someone misinterprets it, or like you go viral because my work's quite creative.
Yeah.
And then you have like trolls like saying horrible things because they don't get my work, and I'm just like, I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would probably get rid of TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably get. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you.
It might be getting rid in America anyway. So
yeah, exactly.
Who knows?
Okay.
Creator and the strategy.
Exciting.
Wow.
What are some challenges you face as a creator?
It's been a lot. I've been quite a lot of challenges. Let's say at the start, like knowing my worth.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure what I should have been charging.
Yeah.
And I was always scared that if I didn't take a job that I'd lose out on opportunity. So, those were the challenges, but I feel like I've grown out of it over the years. I'm more confident in what I should charge, and like my worth.
Yeah.
I'd say as of now, I think the challenge is being present on social media and feeling that current, if that makes sense, or and also you'd be surprised. Still standing up for myself is still a challenge because I feel like after all these years, why am I still standing up for myself? I personally feel like 6-7 years in the game, I should not be like going back and forth about my rate. But I think the industry is there's so many creators that they just want to know who's the cheapest person, or they just want to know, okay, we've sorted out this category, that's it. Like, whoever's the cheapest, let's go for it. But it's like, the challenge is feeling valued, I think, sometimes, because there's so many creators. But it's a challenge, but I'm always going to stand up for myself. So that's not, I can push through it.
Yeah.
And as long as I stood up for myself, whatever the outcome is, I have to make peace with it and be happy with it at the end of the day. What about you? Mine
probably is trying to think. So I think I've got two challenges. The first one is one that I'm going through at the moment, and I think it's the battle between giving my followers what they want versus what I want to show them. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey guys, this is really cool. This is
Yeah.
really cool. I want to show you this, and they're just
Yeah.
like not interested necessarily in what I'm interested in. They're like I want to see more of this. I want to see more interiors. I want to see more DIYs. I want to see
Yeah.
this. I'm just like, I don't feel like doing any DIYs.
And I wish our followers would grow with us sometimes,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
the moment you just do something that you just wanted to try, it's like the views
yeah.
aren't great, and it's just like,
Literally.
I can't do the same color combo every single time just because you like this palette. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I need to move
exactly.
on to something else. But I think what I've done is just like, just post it. Like, just post it, because then you're gonna find other followers that be interested, and
Yeah,
eventually your current followers will get used to like what you want to post now. And if they don't
yeah.
like it, they can unfollow you, and the people that want to continue supporting you will. So
This is it. This
that's
is
kind
it.
of my logic now, because I can't be stressed out about views. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's not that
yeah.
deep.
Exactly. It really isn't.
It's
It
not.
really isn't.
It's not that deep at the end of the day.
Honestly. So that's the first one. And I think the second challenge that I have is just staying consistent. So just showing up consistently. And I think I struggle with that mostly because of how my life is set up with the work. And then I recently started offering interior design services to
That's
people.
a lot.
So
You've got a lot going
girl,
on, girl.
girl,
Oh, I
fighting for
know
my
the
life.
feeling. I know the feeling.
So yeah, it's hard to be consistent these days.
But I think what's interesting about consistency in this, like this content creation world, is that who told everyone that we've got to be posting every day? We are not robots,
Mm,
and like, we're making up these rules at the
yeah,
end of the day. Like, I know
yeah,
maybe the head of Instagram said post every day, but it's like, no, I don't want to post every day. Like,
exactly,
I'm exhausted. Also, Friday, Saturday, people are out. What's the point?
exactly, yeah,
I just don't get that sometimes. And
yeah,
also, I personally feel like you make up your own rules. If you don't post, I never post on a Friday. Well, I never post on a Saturday. That's one day I never post. And Fridays, maybe. If your followers know and get used to that, they're not going to be checking for you on Friday and Saturday. Do you know what I mean? And you can have those
yeah,
Fridays and Saturday and be free. And people can
yeah,
say, schedule it. No, people need to also understand that, like, we're human. Like, we don't have to post every day, and it's okay. Why do we why are we punished for not posting, like, on
exactly,
one day? Like,
exactly,
and sometimes I feel like we need to come back to reality, because sometimes people can get comfortable with like, I want to see this, I want to see that, I don't
yeah,
like this, I don't like that, and it's like, we're human at the end of the day, and we need to. I don't know about you, but I feel like I don't really have time off,
mm.
and
No, I don't.
I feel like self-care is so vital in this industry, because you're going to feel the pressures of, I don't know, feeling like you've got to post all the time, and
Yeah,
it will burn you out. And if you don't take care of yourself, your body will shut down for you. And I've experienced burnout a
exactly,
lot, and it's not great
yeah.
at all.
Same. I experienced it last year. I didn't post for like a month.
I think I didn't post for like one time, like maybe 3, 4 months, but I
Wow.
needed. I was just. It was a lot, and I'd been doing this job for a while, and
Yeah, of course.
I was feeling guilty all the time. And then one day I just didn't care, because I was just like, you know what? It's not that deep. And if I now, all my followers unfollow me because I'm like, I'm looking after myself, I'm feeling horrible, then so be it. But you realize that, like, with social media, that you can always come back.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And like,
yeah.
people are so understanding. When I explained, like, I was looking after myself, people were like so welcoming of that. So
Oh,
um yeah, breaks are just, they're important. Yeah, they're
yeah.
very important.
Yeah, yeah. But that also speaks to the community you've created. That like
Yeah.
people are like they care about you. They care about you taking care of yourself.
And I think that's why I'm glad I'm not like, I don't have millions of followers. I think it would be great to have that visibility because of opportunity.
Yeah.
But I feel like having a niche community who respect you for your art and your craft, I feel like for me, it's warmer. Like, it feels like a nice cuddle. Like, it feels like I can share with them like what I'm doing, what I'm up to. And I feel like you set the boundaries of also like what you share with your community as well. So like, I personally feel comfortable with sharing little bits here and there, and I just feel like I love that. And sometimes I notice the same people that are commenting on my videos, and I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's really
same.
important too. So I feel like for me, I'm
Yeah.
always going to want authentic community over millions of followers at the end of the day.
I hear
Yeah.
ya. I hear ya.
um what are some of your techniques for growing and engaging with your audience?
Oh, I like to be active in the DMs. So I try not to ignore DMs. If I haven't replied, then it's because I genuinely like haven't seen
Yeah.
it. But yeah, I try to be active in the DMs so that people can feel like they've got some sort of relationship
Yeah.
with me as a creator, and it's not just you're watching my life, but it feels more like a community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's probably the main thing I do, and I share the DMs too because I feel like that encourages more people to reach out.
Yeah. I feel like yeah, people are so afraid to like share what like I don't know their thoughts of the industry and stuff like that. I don't know if they're
Yeah,
scared or whatever, but I
yeah,
feel like it helps each other. And it protects everyone too. At the end of the day, there's enough space for everyone at the end of the day. Believe it or not, although it's
yeah,
saturated, there is space for everyone
yeah,
as long as you're not mimicking someone else. If you're mimicking
yeah,
someone else, you're not gonna stand out. But if you're your own person and you have your own authenticity and stuff like that and your own niche,
yeah.
like it's fine. Engage with my audience. I would say like on my stories, I try and do like polls and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
feel like that's really good sometimes. I've noticed I've been doing a lot of videos where I ask people to pick my shade of like a blush product
Ooh,
or like
that's
a
creative.
foundation. And I find that when people feel like they're giving you some knowledge, like they engage with you more.
Yeah,
And sometimes it's helpful because I kind of know my shade most of the time, but it's also good to get people's opinion because they might introduce me to something else or suggest
yeah,
like another thing. So I feel like that's like if in your content, if you can make that engaging too, people are gonna always want to see what you're doing next because it's like they can feel like they're involved.
yeah,
And I feel like we need that right now because there's so many like different types of content right now. How do you stand out? That's like the $1 million question right now.
yeah. And there's so many like creators now as well. It feels like
Because of the pandemic as well, the surge
yes,
of creators has been insane.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Oh, well, this would be good for you, but are you with management or are you an independent creator?
That is a good one for me. As of like
Yeah.
2 days ago, I'm an independent creator.
So what made you like have that change?
Good question. I think I just wanted some more control. I think because I control so many different areas of my life, all the different things that I do, right? I'm very much in charge of like my own destiny. It just felt a bit like with management, I couldn't really have the control that I needed. I didn't really have like the visibility that I needed.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there's definitely some pros to management. So I think I went to so many cool events during the time that I was managed. I learned quite a lot as well because I think I started being managed maybe like 4 or 5 months into making content. So
That's
it
quite
wasn't
soon.
exactly
Wow.
right. So I didn't really get to experience
Yeah.
that much of the other side. But I think it was quite good though because I got to like go through like a little crash course. So I knew I learned how much to charge. For example, I got to meet so many different other creators from different niches that were also signed to the agency as well.
Yeah.
So I got to like build up my network, and I learned a lot about the industry, especially from a business perspective. Um, I just think that now I'm kind of in a different phase where it's like I want to optimize, I want to like try this, I want to try that, but I can't really do that if I don't have like full reign over
You need that
everything.
freedom.
Exactly. So that's why I'm no longer managed.
And it's so interesting you're saying this. I don't even know if I should reveal that now that I'm
Oh,
gonna, because, but I've been self managing from the start of my career. And I would work with agents non exclusively.
yeah,
And this year, I've actually been toying with the idea of actually finally signing exclusively to an agency, actually
mm,
seeking management. And it's funny because even I think mentioned to one friend, they're like, "What? You're gonna sign to management? How? Why?" But I think being self-managed, I'm so glad I did it because I personally feel like I created such strong relationship with brands firsthand,
yes,
and they get to know you first.
yeah,
But there are challenges when you are self-managed, and you know you will never have a day off because you are
yeah,
managing your career. You
yeah,
are sending the emails, you are sending the invoices, you're negotiating, doing all those things.
yeah,
And then you also have to create content and then schedule your events. And there's so much you need to do. And I think it worked for me because I'm extremely organized and I've always been kind of, I don't know, like entrepreneurial. I don't know how you say the word, but you know, do you know what I mean? I just like, I'm good at stuff like that. But
Yeah.
as I'm getting a bit older, like I'm just like, I've done the work and I feel
Yeah.
like I know what I want. I know what my rates are. So maybe it's time to let someone take the reins and
Yeah.
help me strategize for the next phase of my career, because there's so many things I want to do and I just don't believe you can do everything by yourself. So I feel like that's why I might seek management, but I'm not just going to sign to anybody. I would be signed to someone that understands what I want for my future, understands my
Yeah.
dreams, what else I want
Yeah.
to do, and understand that I have a voice, I'm opinionated, but I'm going to let you do what you need to do. I'm going to do me, I'm going to be the
Yeah.
creative,
Yeah.
and I'm going to trust in you to help elevate, the next stage of, what I'm doing. So,
Yeah.
but the fact that you went into it, like, got signed a couple months in, it's actually quite good that you're now going to do it yourself, because I think you need that chance to do it yourself and
Yeah.
see if you need management,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
if you do need management, what for. Because I feel like people just think, oh, getting signed is like the best thing ever, but there are pros and cons that come with it. So you need to understand what it means to be signed and what you're giving
Exactly.
away, and if it's necessary. And also the management you're with, do they represent you, your
Yeah.
ideals?
Yeah. This is it.
Um, there's a lot that comes to play with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I think what you're saying makes sense in terms of you considering management. I think it makes so much sense in terms of like where you are in your journey.
Yeah.
You know, you've gained so much like knowledge. You know, like
Yeah.
the industry in and out.
Inside and out.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So I feel like you could work really well with a management agency because they wouldn't be able to like try it or do or
Oh, they can't play
like
with
you're
me. Do
so
you know what I
good.
mean?
You know what I mean?
But I also want to let go of that control, and I feel like
Yeah,
for me that is a big deal, and I'm ready to let go of that. I'm ready to be like, you're the manager. You just tell me what I need to do, where I need to be.
yeah,
I'm actually quite excited for that. I'm quite excited to be like, I'm not free on this day, and not have to worry about anything. I'm very excited. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't
It
know
is
when it's
good.
gonna be, but I'm very much ready for it.
Yeah,
But obviously it can't happen overnight. I really want to think hard about like who I would even sign with. So
yeah.
it's it's something I'm waiting for, but I'm taking my time with it. There's time. There's no rush.
Of course,
Um,
of course.
so yeah, but I feel like there's pros and cons of signing.
Of course, yeah,
So yeah,
exactly. I don't think there's a right or wrong. It's just like
no, it's what's good for you in that moment of
exactly.
time.
Yeah,
And just people need to make sure they're like reading their contracts, because I've seen so many contracts where like they can't work for a brand for like 6 months or whatever like
yeah.
that,
I've
and I'm
had a
just
few of
like,
those.
oh, scary. So
Yeah.
make sure you're looking at those
Some of
contracts.
them are like some of I feel like some of these contracts have like the audacity because it's like 6 months exclusivity, but they're not paying you like 6 months worth of exclusivity kind of money, and it's just
Exactly.
like okay,
And it's one thing I will say to people is that also it's okay to negotiate your contract. Don't feel like what's said in the
yes,
contract is final. Like you can put anything in there, and it's up to them whether they say yes or no. So
yeah,
don't. It's scary, but don't be afraid, because you're gonna regret it in the long run if you wish
this is
you'd put
a
something there.
yeah,
It takes a while to get that confidence, but now I have no shame. Like
good,
literally no shame. I will be like, yep, no, no, like strike
yeah,
that off. And if they don't want to, so be
yeah.
it.
It is what it is.
Exactly.
Okay, I'll ask you this one. How do you work on building creator relationships?
Well, engaging with them online and in real life,
Mm,
if you can. So commenting on anything they post, commenting on their stories,
yeah,
authentically, of course. I hate it when like people, because I've commented on their page, they comment on mine. It's like, just comment when you're like, you
yeah, like
actually
when I
like
post.
something. It's okay. Like it's not tit for tat. Do you know what I mean? Also, yeah, and in real life, like actually speak to them, or even see if you want to meet up for a coffee. Like
Hmm.
you'd be surprised how many people actually do want to meet up with people. Like you just got to take the plunge, and I feel like having creative friends is like makes situations so much easier.
Yeah,
And also they can invite you to like maybe events they're going to, and vice versa. Like that's how you can build like a little community. So that's how I've been doing it, and I feel like it works. And I feel like it's never too late to also get to know more creators, because sometimes you can get comfortable and get into like little
hmm,
groups, but I always love meeting new creators and like getting to know them,
yeah,
because they bring like a fresh like feel to the industry. What
yeah.
about you?
I think the same. I agree with everything you said. Going to events and bringing like a plus one who is also a creator, and building bonds that way. I've been doing that so much lately.
It's so useful,
Yeah.
honestly, because it can be scary going to events. Even like
Yeah.
I've been doing it for a while, and sometimes I'm like, am I gonna know anyone there? I don't know.
Exactly. And then whilst you're at the event, I always like to talk to people, even if it's just like making convo, and if they're not receptive, they're not receptive. But
It's not easy because people, I feel like when they're comfortable, they can get into their own like cliques.
yeah,
But
exactly.
you just kind of have to like break in. Like if you don't say anything, like people will
Yeah,
just ignore you. So it's always good to
exactly.
just take the plunge and just say hello. Or
Yeah,
I try and
exactly.
give them a compliment, like something I like about what they're wearing or like their
That's a good
makeup, and
one. That's a
usually
good one.
that helps because it can kind of be daunting. I can't lie, like going up to people you don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like asking around, like you can ask around, like see if anyone's going, because you've got notes on Instagram now, so you can like be
Oh,
like, is
it's a
anyone
good
going to this event
idea.
on this date? And
Yeah.
someone might message you. So I feel like there's little ways that
I
you can
might just
like.
do that actually. That's a
Sometimes
really
I
good
do that if
idea.
it's like literally like usually because I've been doing it so long, I'm okay with going to an event by myself. But if it's something completely out of my depth, I might just ask around and see.
Yeah.
You never know,
Yeah.
because you'd be surprised how many people are just as nervous as you. So
Yeah. So true.
yeah,
I might actually do that. I have like a couple of events
you
this
should.
week,
Yeah, do
and I'm
it.
literally going to one alone. So I'm gonna do that
You
next
literally
week.
never know who's going and who's
Yeah,
watching, so definitely do it for
that's a
sure.
really good tip.
Um, do you think you have a healthy relationship with social media?
No, you.
Um, it's better. It's
Okay.
better.
How? What have you done?
Having boundaries, like I won't post on social media every day. If I don't feel like posting because I was tired, I'm not going to feel guilty about it anymore.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do, honestly, even like you feel guilty, but it's like I always say, and like my friend says, we're not doctors, we're not firefighters, we're not saving no one's
It's
lives.
not life saving
Like
work.
it's not life
Yeah.
saving what we're doing. Do you know what I mean? So why are we stressing? Like I get it, it's important, but everyone deserves a day off. 9 to 5 is they're off on the weekend. Why is it that we have to work every single
Yeah.
day?
Yeah.
It's okay to have boundaries with social media. And for me, if me not posting every day means that I will never get 1 million followers, okay. I'm okay with it. I will sleep at bed at night, okay with it, because I'd rather have my sanity. Yeah, I'd rather have a good balance. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Balance is key in this industry, and it's always sometimes it's never gonna be perfect. But if you don't get that balance, man, it's you will burn out, and you will start like comparing
Exactly.
yourself to people. You have negative thoughts. It's mentally taxing this job,
It
so you
is.
really have to like. I personally think have those boundaries. I mean, I'm not sure about you, but you said you had a
No,
bad
I don't.
relationship.
Yeah, no,
Is
I
it
have
still
really
quite
bad.
rough?
It's
Like,
very rough. I think it's bad in that I spend a lot of time like over analyzing my work, I think, and just like if I don't post, I kind of beat myself up about it and stuff. Like
it's
what
a
you said is so
cycle. It's a
true, right?
cycle.
It's not life saving work. Um, but yeah, like if I go X amount of time without posting, I'll beat myself up. But I think these days I'm trying to be more intentional. So, for example, I'm not gonna. The plan is for me not to post for at least 2 weeks right now. I'm on a
Really?
break. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just need
Good.
to refocus and
Good.
re-strategize, especially because I'm transitioning from being managed to not being managed. And so I'm going to be active on stories, but I'm not going to be posting or putting anything out. And it's a good time for me to actually like prepare and get ready so that when I come back, I can actually be consistent. And so
Exactly.
because it's intentional, I feel okay about it. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm just trying to do, like more of in the future, just like making sure that I can like making sure that I'm intentional with time off and stuff, so I don't beat
So it's
myself up.
actually time off as well. I find that I say, oh, I'm
Yeah,
gonna have a slower week, but I'm still on social media. I actually
yeah,
do think I
yeah,
want to do like a 2 week or something like that. Because also when you're ready, people are gonna be like, oh wow, you've not been here in ages, and oh wow, this content's amazing. So sometimes a
exactly.
breaks. You need your followers to also miss you
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
exactly,
You
exactly.
can't just be ready to be like available all the time. Do you know what I mean?
So,
So no, I hear you for sure.
what is your creative process when receiving a brief and working with a brand?
Um, when it's a brief, I just look at the brief, whatever that's on there, then I I try and still make it my own. So at the moment,
Yeah,
as I said, I'm doing content where like I'm kind of asking my followers like what shade they prefer of like a blush or a lipstick. If I now receive like a brief about like we want you to advertise our like foundation, I would suggest using it in the style of content I'm making at the moment, because I like it's doing really well at the moment and that's what people like, and hopefully the brand kind of aligns with it, because and then it makes, I feel like that's an organic way to present an ad but it be like authentic. I
Yeah.
find that when I get a creative like brief and it's completely left, it's always a challenge. And if there's pushback from the brand, I'm just like, okay, I'm just letting you know, I think this would be better. But if you're saying you want to do it this way, then we'll do it that way. But that's kind of like my process really, because I feel like with briefs, it's quite rigid most of the time.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of freedom to do what you want. But I try and push back and see how far I can take it with the brand.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
know about
similar
you,
to
but
be honest. Yeah, I'm similar to be honest. When a brief comes through, I try and see how it will work in a way that feels natural to my audience. And I always try and think of it as, how can I still like leave the person watching this feel like they've gotten something that they didn't have before watching this video. So like, what's the value add? Like, how am I gonna improve their life with this content, kind of thing? Dramatic.
Yeah, I love it though. I love it.
But no, that's kind of what I think, because I never want to be that person who's just like, when people post, they're like, oh, another ad.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I don't want to be
but
that
sometimes
person.
people be posting ad after ad. I'm like, let's make it feel like you're doing a bit of organic content. But I feel like, again, I never focus on that, because it's like their following is gonna acknowledge that it's just ad after ad. Like, I think our followers understand that we get paid to do what we do. So, but I feel like that's why organic content is so important. Like doing stuff without being paid to show that you truly love what you're doing.
Exactly. So it doesn't feel weird.
Yeah.
Plus, I feel like the best ads are ones where you're like, oh, that was actually a really good video to watch.
Yeah.
And not just like, oh yeah, I'm engaging with this because I'm supporting this creator because I love their content, and I don't actually like the ad, but I love the creator, so I'm gonna like and comment and etc. etc.
But I find that like some followers don't like ads at all now, and I'm just like, as in they won't even engage if it's an ad. I'm just like, it is part of the job, so like just help us out a little bit. And also I think sometimes they know when it's ads as well, and it's so annoying, and that's why like I try and like push brands like, can I just do it in my way? Like I'll obviously like show the product and stuff like that, but like when it looks like an ad, it's not gonna do as well. And it's like, how can we obviously disclose it's an ad, of course, always disclose, but in terms of the content, like I always want it to kind of still look similar to what I'm doing, so it actually feels, I don't know, authentic, organic. So that's always a challenge, because the brands want they've got certain specifications, so it's always going to be a bit of back and forth with that, which isn't easy, of course.
Okay, talk us through your creative process from concept to execution on one of these briefs in 60 seconds. Okay. Sustainable tech brand. The aim is a refurbishment tech brand wants to encourage people to buy expertly refurbished tech, such as smartphones, tablets, or headphones. Explain to the audience how the brand works by refurbing tech, and explain that purchasing from them is better for the planet, e.g. it reduces CO2 emissions. Messaging to audiences should have a humorous tone of voice, think tongue-in-cheek. Concept examples, this or that. Show the audience between how much you save buying refurbished versus buying new. Quality, show audience refurb tech doesn't mean low quality. Show how well the refurbished works and looks as good as brand new tech. You can pick one of the 3, 2 TikTok videos, 2 Instagram Reels, 2 dedicated YouTube videos. Bonus, what would you charge for this campaign?
That is a lot. Can I actually see that?
Yes.
See that so I can actually tick it off. So I would focus, when I'm charging, I'm focusing on what the deliverables are. Firstly, I'll worry about the brief later. And if it will take me longer, then I base it on that. So are you asking what I would charge? Or is it just generally... Oh, okay, yeah. So what would I charge for this campaign? So TikTok videos. I don't have a massive following on TikTok. So I think I have like 17k followers. So I think some people would be charging like £500 for that. But I personally don't, because my experience, and I take that into account. I'd probably charge like 1.5. That is quite high for, I think, 17k followers on TikTok, but I stand by those rates and it's been paid. It doesn't always get paid, but I don't have to. TikTok's not my main platform, so it's whatever. So for 2 TikToks, 1.5, okay, cool, that would be 3k. Then 2 Instagram Reels, I charge between like for real like maybe 2.5k to like plus. Um, don't always get it, of course, but you know, is what it is. So that's 5k, and then YouTube. I'm not on YouTube, so I actually wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to give you that, and I wouldn't know what people charge for YouTube. I have no clue, but that's what I would charge. However, that doesn't include usage. So I'd be like, what's the usage? Because that's where they
Yeah.
get you. I don't know if you said the usage. I don't think so. But if the usage was like, if it's just organic, I'll just cap it for a certain amount of months. If they wanted paid usage, then I charge a percentage of what the budget, how much they're spending to boost my content. I charge them a percentage of it. And then if they want more, anything else, then you just add more zeros because that's when it gets more expensive. Like if they want to put it, I don't know, on a billboard in Piccadilly Circus, you need to pay me a lot of money for that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you want
Yeah.
you want the rights to it, forget it unless you're paying me X amount. So I'd be charging a bit for it, and then depending on how long it would take me, if it takes longer than usual to produce it, then I would charge that too. So yeah, depending on what the usage would be, it would be for 2 TikTok videos. It'd be like I can't do my maths, but yeah, that's around where I would
Yeah.
would charge. But it would be good to know what other people like. If anyone's watching this, like what people think they would charge for this, because
Yeah.
I think I'm in the middle at the moment with what I'm charging. I feel like, and it depends on the brand as well. The brand plays a big part to what you charge as well. Like if they're asking for a lot, but it's a smaller brand, like they're not going to have the same budget. So it
Exactly.
depends.
Exactly.
But if you see a brand and you're like, I don't know, a refurbishing tech brand, I don't know what it would be. I can't think of tech but Apple right now because of my phone. But if Apple comes to you, be charging high.
Yeah,
Like, do you know what I
exactly.
mean?
They have the
Obviously,
budget.
they should absolutely have the budget.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I answered the question.
Yeah.
I think.
I think you did.
Oh, I think it was you pick one of three. I didn't read it properly. Okay, cool. But yeah, I've said
Okay.
kind of all of it. I think my concept for this would be maybe showing, I don't know, I'm thinking what it would be off the top of my head. Maybe filming my content and then saying, okay, I'm using this camera to like talk right now, and then now I'm using this camera. And like, did you notice like the difference or something like that?
Yeah.
And showing how like refurbished like smartphones are just as good as like the new ones, and like you can help the
Yeah.
environment and stuff like that. I don't know how I would do it, but I'm trying to imagine like what's an engaging way for people to realize that like, oh, this is a good thing, good brand to like follow or purchase from. I think that's what I would do.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not
it
sure.
makes sense for you to lean into the creator side as well, because you've literally been doing this for 6, 7
Yeah.
years, right? So you have that XP, and so
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like that concept's really good.
Yeah, I think anyway. So talk us through your creative process from concept to execution on one of these briefs in 60 seconds. So streaming device top three. So the aim is to drive awareness, attribution, and conversation for a range of key TV shows on a streaming service that you can simply plug into your TV and play. The brand wants you to communicate it has content for everyone across entertainment, sports, and cinema. Mention your 3 favorite shows during the video in an in an authentic way. So the content examples are a day in the life vlog, ending with a night in watching your favorite TV shows, camera facing content, talking through the best shows the streaming device has to offer, and the deliverables would be one Instagram reel. And then the bonus would be, what would you charge for this campaign?
Okay. Okay. I think so. I'm thinking about how I would do it. I don't actually have a TV. I have a projector.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cute.
yeah. I had like made a big deal out of it because I returned my TV to get the projector because the
Oh,
projector's like portable, and I do take it with me to other people's homes and stuff. Like,
it makes sense because I don't even use my TV, so you know
yeah.
what makes sense.
Honestly, it's really good. So I feel like I would, instead of doing a day in the life, I feel like I would do a week in my TV or something like that, where I show
Yeah.
the different programs that I've watched every day of the week, and then that would show the variety of like all the different shows that they have on their streaming device or streaming service, and then I would also link it to current shows. Like everyone's talking about Bridgerton right now.
Have
Bridgerton
you
would be
watched it?
one of those shows.
I've not watched it, you know. I need to. I know I've not. I'm one of those people that's just not watched it yet. I don't know
Okay.
why.
I want
I
to
feel
know what
like I
you
need to
think about
start.
it when you watch it. I'm 2 episodes in, and I've heard a lot of mixed reviews.
Is this the new season or I've not watched it at all?
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I don't know why
I
I said
want to.
oh like that.
Oh no, one of them ones. It's just one show I've not watched. But I think I'm
Wow.
going to because I feel like everyone speaks about it, even my flatmates. I'm just like maybe I should join in.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. I really like it. I really like it. Do you like period dramas?
I'm someone that likes a bit of everything, so
Okay.
it honestly, if it's good to me. So I'm
Okay.
gonna give it a go. See.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I would weave in like Bridgerton, like Baby Reindeer, all of those like trending kind of
Trending shows, yeah.
movies, and I'd be like a week in my life, or like what I watched on TV this week, and then I feel like I would capture some of the elements in my home that are slightly different and use those for like the opening shots to like grab people's attention. So for example, I've got like a projector screen that automatically comes down, so like I feel like the opening shot would be like that projector screen coming
Ooh, I'm seeing
down.
the visuals now. I'm
You know
like,
what I mean?
oh
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So just something that would grab people the moment they
yeah. That
start watching
first
them.
few seconds needs to
Yes,
be
that three to
like,
five seconds. And then I think that it would be quite cool because usually like a TV is really like small. You know what I mean? But this is like my projector is literally 100 inches. So yeah.
so small.
So like I think that seeing it so like wide, like it will feel very cinematic.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's how I do.
I want you to create that now. Like that sounds amazing. What would you charge for this campaign, do you think?
Oh, Instagram is so tough. Instagram is so tough. I would go on that
Go on the
pricing
seven
report because
series.
I haven't really like I haven't seen a rate card being managed for like the
Wow,
past
yeah.
like year and a half. Yeah, so I've not seen a rate card at all.
Damn.
So I don't even know what I charge, but I have
Have
this.
you got it on you, the doc?
Yeah, I'm
Is it
sure
on
I
your
have it
phone?
in my yeah. I think I have it in
You
my
don't
like Apple
play.
Books. So I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna do it live. Oh gosh, now I can see like all of my books, like at home glutes. Okay, let me try and see it here.
Oh.
Mm, pricing. Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Literally searched my text messages. I literally asked someone for it a few months ago. Okay, so Instagram, I've got about 20,000, 19,000 on Instagram. And so for a reel, it says you should post 1,200 at the high end. I always go in high with negotiation because there's no
Always.
point going in low. Yeah.
They're always, the odds of them saying yes, that's fine, it's not that high. So it's always better to go higher from what you want and then
Yeah.
go back for sure. So that makes sense.
Exactly. So I think I would do. Is it one or two?
It's just one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So it's 1,200, but I feel like I would speak with the brand and figure out whether they want me to post this to my TikTok audience, which is like
yeah, that
slightly
cross
bigger.
posting, yeah.
Exactly. And
Get a
then
bit
I
more
would
money.
charge more for that because I got about just under 100K on TikTok.
You're
So I
big
feel
on
like
TikTok.
I could.
TikTok, you can add a bit more for that.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
just be like, do you guys want the extra visibility?
It makes sense. No, it makes sense.
Yeah. And yeah, go from that perspective. Yeah.
I feel like we should be. I think we're charging the correct amount. Hopefully, if anyone's got anything to say, give us any advice. Let us know.
Please.
Okay, this segment's money talk. So, do you want to go first or?
Sure. What is your highest paid deal?
Oh, I love this because people don't like to talk about money. Okay, my highest paid deal. I have to try and remember. I believe it was just over 25 grand. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was probably one of the biggest deals I had, and I've had that. It was twice, so it was 1 year after the other, and I've never seen that much money in my life. I didn't grow up with money, so it was like, wow, that is amazing. But I was paid what I deserved for what they were asking for, and it wasn't a fight for it.
Yeah.
So, and I was paying my worth for that. So, and I've been like paid correctly before, so it was for me. It was like, oh, okay, finally, like it's actually happening. So that was I believe that's the highest for me. What about you?
I love that. My highest paid deal has been £13,000.
And it was you paid your worth, you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah. You have to remember
Yeah.
where I came from.
Yes.
I was
Yeah.
like,
Was it like was it an ad? Was it content?
it was content. It was like a really short collaboration. There really wasn't
Nice.
that much involved in it. Yeah, although I did have an interesting one that like it was high paid, but I feel like I worked
You
for
worked
that.
for it. Sometimes you'd
I
be working for that
worked.
money. You're like, wow, okay, yeah. It was a lot, but I
Yeah.
worked for that money. Yeah.
Honestly, like it was around the same. That one was around £10,000, but I feel like it was a DIY project. And when I
It's
tell
a lot.
you, I was up for like 4 nights in a row, just like
Ooh.
trying to get this thing to work.
When you got
It
that
was,
cash, you must have been happy. Like, I worked for that.
yeah, yeah. I really was.
What was the lowest deal you've ever taken, and why did you take it?
Ooh, okay. So are we talking like this year or like in its entirety?
Let's say
Like
entirety, just
last.
because this year's still
Oh
quite.
yeah, true. Okay. In its entirety, when I first started, like we're talking like £100, not £100, but maybe like 200, 300
Yeah.
pounds in that region. And I think it's because I didn't know how to price myself.
Yeah.
But they were like big brands though at the same time.
Yeah.
It was through one of those influencer apps.
I know exactly which one you're talking about. I don't know if we should say that, but I know exactly which one you're talking
Whisper
about.
to me, whisper
Yeah.
to me.
What was that one? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do they still exist?
I don't know.
I don't know, but yeah, they're teething people. These apps, guys. I'm not saying you shouldn't use them,
Yeah.
but you're not getting your money's like what you deserve,
You're
and
actually
sometimes it's not
not.
worth it. I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
but
I remember even just selling the content to them for like £100 extra, and it's just like
what, the rights?
yeah, like the full on rights for like
Oh, don't!
£100,
I'm gonna.
and it's just
I'm
like
getting lightheaded.
in the real world you'd never. That's like a crazy.
That's the thing. A photographer would never sell the rights to their images for £100, but you feel like you've got to do it because they're not going to work with you again. It's like it's just when you don't know as well. It's just so hard. But at least now you know.
Yeah.
And your work has elevated since then, so you'd never accept that.
Yeah.
You live and you learn. Honestly.
Yep.
The lowest deal I've taken, probably the same thing really. Like, I think I was on a shoot when I first started out. I was kind of thrown into opportunity, so it didn't start small. I did a really big shoot for the first time, and it was a campaign, and I was in a store, like my face was in a store, like just like when you go into a Boots or Superdrug and you see like makeup stands.
Yeah.
My face was there, and I think I got paid £500 for it. Obviously, I should have been paid way more than that.
Yeah.
But when I first started, I had no clue. I was happy to be there.
Yeah.
I was none the wiser. And I remember on set, I was with another girl who was from an agency, and she was being paid about like £10,000 to be there. And I was here with my measly 500.
Wow.
But I learned so much from that. Like, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, sometimes it's just the way it is, or sometimes I do accept lower rates if it's like an indie brand or a smaller brand, or if I'm helping out a friend. Sometimes I don't even say like, don't even pay me, like donate it or do it, like use it for something else. And I think that's important, because if you don't, you're always constantly going to think you've got to get the highest amount. But sometimes it's important to just like take smaller budgets, because it's the £300-500 that's going to help you when like you've not been paid that big job. Do you know what I mean? So it's important sometimes to just, as and when, take the smaller jobs, I think.
I think that's a really good point, and I like what you touched on in terms of working with smaller brands. What would be your pricing strategy for working with a smaller brand compared to like the
Good
giants?
question, because someone did. I got an email about this, and I try and tell them what's your budget, but I think that doesn't always work, because sometimes their budgets are a bit too low, and it's like I'd rather just like, when I'm free, do some organic content for you rather than take the fee. Maybe use it on someone else. So I think what I'm actually going to do, I think people should create separate rate cards for indie brands instead, and see if they can work with that. So like maybe slash it by 50%. And like have a bit more flexibility with them, and maybe ask them to pay you sooner than you usually would, because it's it's a smaller fee. So I think I'm going to do that instead, because sometimes it don't work. Because if you say what's your budget, it's sometimes a bit tight. It's like, oh, I can't really work with that. Like, I want to help you, but at the same time, like, there needs to be a middle ground. So I think having a separate rate card makes sense, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some good wisdom.
Thank you.
How do you negotiate with brands?
So it depends. I feel like I've got knowledge on this because I self-manage, but how do I negotiate? If they come to me, say, oh, we would like to know your rates, I give them my rates. They'll always come back and say, sure. Or most of the time, they'll say, can you do X amount?
Yeah.
I never accept their first offer personally. Even if they say, oh, we can only do this much, I always go higher. I'll give an example. A brand came up to me and was like, oh, how much do you charge for this? I said, I'll do 15K. Cool. They come back. It was an agency, bear in mind. So agencies are a little bit, they said, oh, can you do it for 5K? I was like, absolutely not. Firstly, that's not even meeting in the middle. And secondly, I started to state why I personally feel like you should charge me this much.
Yeah.
And I would like you to meet in the middle of that. And I said things like, my experience, I've been doing it for a long time, the quality of my content. You can see my engagement, the certain views it does. And I also mentioned I'm dark skinned because for me, that is important. There's not a lot of dark skin creators in the UK. And I feel like that is a quality I have. And you can't get that anywhere. You can't just, do you know what I mean? So for me, that was a selling point. And they actually met in the middle. And I was very proud of myself because
well done.
Firstly, I was never going to take that because I've been doing it for a while. So I know that, you know what, it's a risk, but I can, something else will pop up. But I felt like if I didn't stand my ground, they'd think that they're going to charge me that for like other opportunities.
Yeah.
And from 15K to 5K is not only an insult, but it's not, I don't think anyone deserves that for what you're asking for. So I think, I try and do the back and forth. It's a bit hard because you don't know how to push. Like if you're gonna push too far, but I just personally feel like negotiating is all about like being comfortable with what you're telling them. So if you say this is what I'm charging, you need to stand on it and don't regret it. Even if you feel like, oh, maybe I should charge more, or oh, it's too low. Just stand on what you're saying. Have confidence because they need to know that you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because if they feel like you don't know what you're talking about, like that's how they can get you. It's a business for them. They're trying to save costs. So, but you're trying to make money. So always stand up for like what you're saying your rate is, for sure.
Yeah. I completely agree with that. So even though I'm like fresh into
the
being
game.
self-managed, I've not negotiated anything in the past 3 days. I've negotiated probably every job that I've worked at. Every like tech job that I've worked at.
How does it work here with that?
Yeah, no, it's interesting. So the bigger companies, they kind of tell you that you're going into the like compensation stage. So you know how you have like different stages of an interview? It's like, yeah, we're going to give you an offer, but it's like we're here to find an agreement that's mutually beneficial for all. Yeah. And I kind of like to see negotiation as that. It's not necessarily like, oh, I really want to work with this brand, or I really want to work at this company, and so I'm gonna starve myself to work there. It has to be mutually beneficial for both parties, and it's crazy. Whatever the first offer is never their entire budget.
Never. Everyone's got to remember that. It's
exactly.
Never accept the first offer ever.
I've had offers like double, especially for like the bigger tech companies. Like they just double like that. The moment you're just like, no, actually, I think I would like this. This is the range.
That is crazy to double. Wow.
Yeah,
they've got that budget. Yeah. Wow.
Exactly. And it's crazy. Just like, where did you pull that from? Like, why did you just offer me that? All I had to do was ask.
Yeah.
And
that's why you just got, if you don't ask, you don't get as well, but don't be scared. That's the thing, it's the fear, like, of doing it. And I feel like there's like a percentage, like, women are more likely to, like, accept the first, I don't know what the statistic is, but I don't know, sometimes we might be afraid, but it's like, you don't know what people are, like, actually earning. Like, it's just, if you know you're worth way more, just ask. If you don't ask, you're never going to know. And all they're going to say is either no or, yeah, maybe. Mm-hmm. So why not ask?
Exactly.
There should be no fear in, like, standing up for.
This is it. People rarely withdraw the offer. They're offering you for a reason. Like, they want to work with you. So I would say to anyone who is listening or watching, like, advocate for yourself and don't be scared.
Yeah, because no one else is going to.
Exactly.
They'll be laughing, thinking, oh, you know what, we've just been, like, we've saved a chunk of money. Meanwhile, that could have been
Yeah,
yours.
exactly.
So why not? um, okay, I'll ask this one then. So, what's the number one thing you ask brands before you collaborate?
Ooh, it depends on the brief, to be honest. Because I'll be honest, being managed, when the briefs come to me, they're
They're
pretty
done.
much good to go. Like all the questions have been asked.
Yeah,
Everything has been like gone through with like a fine tooth comb. So
yeah,
I don't really ask that much, if anything. What about
yeah.
you?
Well, since I've been doing, I think you ask brands before you collaborate. I mean, when you see what the brand is, I'm already thinking, am I going to work with them? Do you know what I mean? So I'm already doing like my research to be like, does it align with me?
Yeah, yeah.
Have they got certain morals that they have? Like, does that align with me? Whatever, etc. So I've already thought about if I wanted to work with them. There's some brands I've seen, I'm just like, well, no, it's not gonna. There's no
Yeah.
point even asking because
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable working with you. I think the most important thing is the contract. So you kind of know what the brief is going to be about. They will tell you like a little outline of what it's going to be about. My thing is the contract. The most important thing to me is the contract. I need to make
Yeah.
sure that I'm agreeing to what we've already discussed and I'm signing the right thing, because there's never been a time that I've received a contract and it's been correct. I think it's only one time it was like, okay, change the date of this. Every single time the contract's wrong. It's like they're still trying to sneak things in there,
Yeah.
or they're just sending a random
Just imagine.
copy. Like, do you know what I mean? So I'm focused on more like, okay, the contract is saying the right things, because if you sign it, it doesn't matter what you've agreed on.
Yeah.
That's it. Do you know what I mean? So,
Exactly. This is so interesting. You've given me insight because I've not seen a single contract in the
oh
time
well,
that
if
I've
you
been
ever
managed.
need any help, I can skim through it like this. Nope, 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 nope. Like
Love
literally,
that.
but it's so hard at first because you just don't know what you're. It's so much jargon that like no one's gonna
Yeah.
understand, that you do need help with it. So like honestly, if you ever need advice on that, I'm your girl
Thank you.
because I've been
Thank
doing
you.
it for a minute.
Do you think if you were going to be managed that you would want that, you'd still want that visibility over the contracts
No,
and stuff?
no, I'd want them to look at it first, because that's one of the most exhausting things as doing it
Right.
yourself
Okay.
is
Yeah.
contracts, because you can't skim read that. Like you have to really,
Yeah.
like, I go over the contract like 5 times before I send it off and like be like, these are my changes. And sometimes if I've missed something, I'll go back. Like I don't care, because it's gonna be me that's gonna regret it. Do you know what I mean? I need to be happy with what I'm signing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel like if I'm signing to management, I'm trusting in you that you're reading through things.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am gonna ask to like see the contract. Like once you've gone through it and it's fine, I do want to see it just so I know what I'm literally signing. But
Exactly.
I want you've done that. I want them to do all of that work. I mean, what's the point of signing
If you still have to do all of that.
if I'm
Yeah.
doing all that doing that labor? Like
Yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah.
do that
Yeah.
anymore. No. So
Love
yeah.
that. Do you diversify your income as a creator? And if so, how?
Yes, I do. I don't think I'd be here still doing it full time if I didn't diversify my income.
Tell us
So
more.
I'm a content creator. I'm a makeup artist. I'm a consultant. I also so I have a platform called Editorial Black, and it was essentially to help Black creators be more visible with a hashtag, and then also through like PR and events. But this year I've actually been working with creators on like a project to project basis where I actually manage the jobs for them. So they're not like signed with me or anything like that, but I
Yeah.
work with creators to help make sure that they get paid their worth. So essentially I'm essentially their manager, but for that job. So if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Okay.
But for me, it's quite a niche thing because I
Yeah.
can't be a full-time manager, of course, but I have so much knowledge. So I've been helping creators with that platform, but also outside of it, so non-Black creators. That has diversified that has like really helped my income so much, because with this job, you can have loads of jobs and it can be really quiet. And I feel like
Yeah.
if you're just a creator, you're one of the lucky ones, I think, personally. As a Black creator, I don't feel like opportunities are as much as our counterparts, personally. I mean, stats have shown that as well, of course, of like how much people are paid and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I've done to kind of diversify my income, and like consultancy's been really good.
I love that.
And I think that's what, when I get signed, hopefully, I think that's what I'd want to focus on, like someone helping me like push all of those other elements. I have also another idea, but I'm not going to mention it. But I'm just like, I'm
Ooh.
just trying to find different ways to make to make
Yes,
money. But
yeah.
that's kind of like what I've been doing
I
this
think
year.
that's really good. That's really, really good. I think it makes so much sense to diversify in
You
even if
have
you're not a
to.
creator. Like
You have to, because honestly, like I feel like one source of income now is not enough. If you
exactly.
live in London, if you don't, like everything is so expensive, like you can't rely unless you're being paid like I don't know what, but seven figures. I'm sorry, like it's a lot just for the average person. So I think as a creator, that when you don't even know when you're going to be paid, it's important to just make sure you have like your hand,
Something.
yeah,
Yeah,
something coming
yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Can get a bit scary sometimes.
Yeah, it can, to be honest.
I mean,
It
if you've got your
can.
9 to 5, haven't you? So you've got a
Yeah, that
good,
supplements quite a lot. So like the creator stuff is all just like I guess I don't want to say pocket money, but it's all just like my extras. It's
yeah,
savings, business.
yeah.
It's that. In terms of how I diversify my income as a creator, I obviously we've got the brand partnerships,
Yeah.
but then I also offer consultations to people through like interior design and stuff. I make over people's homes.
Oh, nice.
That's been fun. Recently started that. I sell a digital product. So I designed a print last year. It was all part of a series where I was getting my house ready for a housewarming. And when I designed it, people were like, "Oh my gosh, I would love this." Da, da, da." So I put it on Etsy, so that makes me a little bit money, and then affiliates as well.
Do
So
they work for you? I find affiliates don't really. I know people that make a lot of money off affiliates.
do you know what? I think the nature of what I'm like the niche I'm in is very, very it leans very well to affiliates. So because I'm doing like
True.
home stuff, everyone buys a lot of
You
their
want a
home stuff off
discount as
Amazon.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I just have the Amazon marketplace running and people buy through my
That
things
makes
all the
so much
time.
sense.
Yeah, and so you can shop my videos and stuff. And I think it's just a really nice link because it's like, okay, this is what I'm doing in my house. If you want to do the same in your house, you can do so. Just head to my bio and buy everything.
I'm that kind of person. I would just go on that link and just buy everything.
Yeah,
Like it'd be so
just
much
makes it
easier. It's
easier.
just so much easier. So that makes
Yeah,
complete sense.
yeah, yeah. Oh here.
So,
Okay.
what is your final message to content creators or anyone looking to become a content creator?
I would say for someone who's looking to become a content creator, make sure you're being authentic. Be authentically you. I think that when you're being more authentic, you minimize the risk of burning out, and you'll have more fun doing it. And to any content creators that are already out there and making content and they've built their audience, I would say know your worth. Don't be afraid to
Yeah.
say no to things, and like talk to other creators because yeah, you don't know what you don't know.
The power of speaking to other creators. Honestly, it will save you money. Probably, you might even save
Yeah,
money.
yeah,
Like
exactly,
it's,
exactly.
I'd probably just repeat what you've just said. Really,
Mm.
honestly, like being authentic, being
Yeah,
yourself. That is, it might not feel like it's important right now, but it will help you in the long run. Um, and being a content creator isn't an easy job. So don't think, oh, I want to do it because you get free products. Like
yeah,
that is like the last of your worries. Honestly, getting free product. There's so much that comes to it. So just be prepared to and work a lot as a content creator and be prepared to do it alongside another job for a while. So you need to be extremely organized and
yeah,
patient.
yeah.
Nothing's going
Patient.
to happen overnight, you know?
Nothing ever happens overnight. Even people that seem like they are overnight successes are
They're
never
not.
overnight successes.
They're not. So people don't, because of TikTok as well, you don't realize that like some people do it for a minute and it's just now
Yeah,
they're getting this different kind of visibility.
yeah,
So don't assume just because someone's like really big at the moment that like, oh, it's just a viral moment. It's like they've worked for it, a lot of them,
exactly,
for sure.
exactly. They put in the work. Have you got any future exciting projects coming up?
I always forget what I'm doing because there's always so much going on. Yeah, I've got like a really cool contract coming up with a brand that I've used for years. So I feel like that's a really organic opportunity. Any other projects? And also working on like editorial black. I feel like I want to focus on that more.
Yeah,
For me, it's something that I think could be very valuable in the industry. So for me, that is an exciting personal project that I want to show to the world a new and improved platform very soon. What about you?
I
Anything?
love that.
Oh, thank you. Anything exciting coming up?
Yes, I have some makeovers coming up.
Ooh.
So my last full-on makeover was where I turned someone's home into a bachelor pad, their living room into a bachelor pad, and
Nice.
so that was like a few months ago. But I'm doing another one. I've got another makeover coming. And this time I'll be posting it bit by bit on TikTok and on Instagram. But I'm going to post the full video on YouTube for people to watch.
YouTube's a good platform to use. I feel like it's coming back. It's the return of like YouTube. So I'm going to be following you to see what you've been up to.
So yeah, that's something that's exciting that's coming up. Big makeover.
So plug yourself. Where can we find you online?
Sure. So my username is Chrystal King, and I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. Why did I forget? I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, and I'm soon to be on YouTube. And it's Chrystal King _ Chrystal with a H. Yeah. Okay. What about you? Where can people find you?
People can find me at Wendy's World _XOX. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest. Soon to be YouTube, but we're getting there. We're getting there. But that's where you can find me.
Love that. Thank you, creators on creators, for having myself, Chrystal, and my co-host, Wendy.
Make sure you leave us a rating or review on any podcast platform. And if you're watching us, drop us a comment and don't forget to subscribe.
Wow.